following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Bowie wowie!
Of course! Of course!
How can we trust the word of a man who has lied to our faces and now has proven the infirmity of his wits? The treasure should be Bermania's. It is Bermania's, I mean to say. There's no dispute of that. You cannot let it be in the hands of a witless gibbon such as this excessively handsome and tall man with his very chiseled features and bulging muscles. No,
Then why did you not get it from the parched stone?
This pause is mine, because I actually am completely unprepared for a question.
Fair enough.
Because honestly, how do you prepare for a question there's no good answer to? As you know, the parched stone is surrounded by foul magical storms, and an impassable desert inflicted with foul magical storms, and an unknown creature that guards it. Most likely, some form of ogre. Now, I would not advise you disputing this point.
Oh, okay.
Because if they know that there's a creature like that there, they're not going to let it rest, are they?
No, I was more just trying to dispute the impassable part because we passed it. That was...
Now, obviously, they have made it through the parched stone, my lord. I'm treating him like he's there. I don't know why.
He's the
Stop. Meaning that they must have had some means for bypassing the destructive magics. And I put it to you, my lord, that they had a lich mistress in the party, proven by Yellow Eyes, a Cesarian battle mage in the party, proven by his appearance and their successful passage through the magic, for they were protected from the magic by magic. Is it not true that you used magic to get through?
Yes.
Guilty of another crime. Escorting magicers through Magic Place, using magic. A confession from his own lips. At the confession, you notice after you get off Scribbler's eyes like bug out and he becomes like crazed and starts like fiddling. Starts like unraveling the sleeve of his thing that he's wearing. His Archduke thing. A guilty criminal. We cannot vest him with our treasure. He should be beaten and killed and thrown into a dungeon. He confesses to using magic. Was it you or your Cesarian Battle Magister who did it?
It was not I.
And by the process of elimination, must be either the Lich Mistress or the Battle Magister. My lords, can we not arrest them now with this confession and have them executed before the people so that it will be safe for them?
You are twisting my words and putting words in my mouth that are not there.
My lord, I would like to remind everyone that he says these words, and a word cannot be twisted, for it is not real. Under the laws of Bermania, these precedents are set, and he has damned himself. His Battle Magister is the very villain who murdered my son with fire from his hands! I demand the extradition of that mage! I demand justice!
Etiquette roll 11, conflict of interest. But that might not be a thing here, I do not know. I do not know how
You
this
could roll
system
a
works.
memory check instead.
A memory check?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't have to.
No, I want to.
No, you don't.
I don't. 6.
If he's a Caesarian battle magister, how could he have killed your son that long ago?
They didn't exist.
No.
Yeah.
If you remember, he recounted the tale of when he was a boy who grew up there. You could could lead him into a verbal trap, you realize. If you can get him to admit that Adrian grew up there, then he cannot be a battle magister. And that might be enough for you to get back on track.
How did
Justice,
How did Adrian kill your son that
with
long
fire
ago?
from his hands! Our evil battle magister trick!
How old is he?
My son, he has no age, for he was cruelly struck down over 3 years ago by that vile little tongue-tied boy.
How many years ago?
About 3 years ago. It is well known that battle magisters are young mages, which is weird. So he could easily still have done it, and I maintain did.
And how exactly did he do this as a young boy living alone amongst no other battle magisters in your village under your control?
Who knows why he moved there so young? Perhaps his parents brought him up in the tradition of battle magistry. The point is that he killed my son with fire, and that is not being disputed at all. I demand justice for these acts.
Any normal person can kill somebody with fire. You don't need to be a battle magister.
I'm tempted to say prove it. Because then you'll lose your powers because it's not a blunt weapon.
A torch is a blunt weapon!
The fire isn't.
No, true.
That little freak pretended not to be able to speak his whole life, but then suddenly could, and then he killed my son.
The battle magister.
Yes! Is it not obvious to everyone? He has confessed it. It is done.
I have not confessed anything. You're the one who's...
You have confessed the use of magic. That is a thing. Which immediately means the rest of your words are in doubt as lies. So you have confessed.
This is nonsense, my lord.
You have declared Burmanian legal systems to be a nonsense?
No, I've claimed you to be a nonsense.
He has dishonored me in my family's name. I demand justice on him. I demand he repent his slander of my family's name and myself. The actually leans forward. He's like, yes. Can't have that. Cannot have the nobility besmirched. You must abase yourself.
This man's story does not make any sense, my lord. Adrian could not have been a battle magister at that age in that location.
The age is not in dispute about magister. And maybe he magicked himself there. Yes, magic all over the place. You are a bad man.
I'm a cleric of Tor. I cannot be a bad man.
Cleric of Tor, you say? Could be another lie, my lord. He has lied repeatedly. Anyone can say they are a cleric of Tor, but he has besmirched my name, and I demand justice. Have him executed for his temerity.
I'm just looking at the Archduke, saying, I'm assuming he's just gibbering though.
I have reached my decision. Yes. He'll stand up and face the wall.
Okay.
There's a big stained glass window right behind him, depicting a much more beefy man that's clearly him.
Okay.
And he turns around. His one eye is staring at you, the other eye is staring at him, and they're blinking out of sequence. Like, trial by combat! Now! And Viscount Maxwell's just like... Psh! And servants come running out of nowhere with armor and start strapping it on. This is going to be easy. He doesn't even have a weapon. The armor takes 10 minutes to be strapped on. You doing anything?
Well, I don't have my armor or weapons, do I? So
Well, cool. So, in which case, once his armor's strapped on, he salutes the Archduke and he's like, "Might uphold the right!" And he walks right up to you and pulls his sword back and swings it at your face and cuts your thumb off.
no, I'm bringing it down on.
You
Here.
don't. Oh, so he cuts your arm off.
How does he cut my arm off with?
You're unarmored. You don't own armor.
No, I'm not touching the sword.
Oh, you're touching his arm.
I'm trying to grasp the that arm. That's
Oh
coming
well.
down.
In that case, is that a? Do you have a martial art move that would let you do that?
I don't think so.
In which case, you will now have to roll a parry. Unarmed parry. Do you have any points in unarmed?
Although, actually, while he was, it's probably too late now.
Oh yeah.
Because I would be like, what kind of trial by combat is just one man, one armed and armored man attacking another who is not armed and
Perfectly
armed?
legal.
Oh, it is? Okay.
In the same way, in a tournament, an armed and horsed man can just mow down his opponent if they've been unhorsed.
2.
Okay, so that's -1 because you don't have unarmed proficiency.
Yeah.
You're trying to get. Wait, you got a 2?
Yeah.
Then there's no way you're hitting AC4.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not attacking. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
do
in
a
order
block.
to do a parry, you have to hit AC4.
Oh, it's a parry. Sorry. Yeah.
A block would still involve you getting hit, which would lock goodbye arm.
Okay.
I can't
It's
read
an
that.
11.
Well,
I think it's an 11.
well, you have no AC, so that's gonna hit. So his sword streaks down towards your face, and you get your character sheet together and hand it to me. But just as you're about to do that, the guard beside you just like whips his shield up, and the sword goes clang onto that, and everyone's in an immediate uproar. There's people standing, women are fainting. And he's like, "Ah! Interference! Execute both of them, my lord!" So Bolstar's like, "What kind of honorable man in an honorable trial by combat strikes down an unarmed and unopposing man with no armor? What kind of honorable man does that, Viscount Maxwell?" You want to throw in 2 cents here, or are you just going to be a passive player in your own story?
I was gonna say that sounds like what a cowl would do to me.
The Archduke is like, "Armor! Weapons! On that piece of shit! That liar! It will be fair!" Viscount Maxwell looks pissed. And he looks at you and he's like, "You are not in the hells for this. You are..." Some peasants come forward and strap some basic bitch leather armor onto you. Buckle it on. And you're given a stick.
Yeah.
It's basically a club.
A club. I
Do you
can
have
use a club.
proficiency club?
I do.
Right. Then the intense duel happens in front of everyone. He gets the first strike because he is better than you. And that is a... Please tell me that's not a 1.
I think it's a 12. It's a weird font, so yeah, I think it's a 12.
That's not going to be a hit. Not with leather armor. Your turn.
Can I spend a gold?
No.
Oh, okay. 17.
Roll damage.
What's
Club
the
is a D6.
D6?
No knockdown.
Fair enough. 6!
Your club smashes in his skull. His brains fly out the back of his head and he drops to the ground dead. After a long battle with many exchanged blows, his armor is dented. You've lost 4 hit points because
Fair enough.
it's been like a 10-minute long fight because you're in suboptimal condition, meaning you actually have to like step back and retreat from a lot of blows as opposed to just taking it on the armor like you used to.
No shield
And
as well.
finally
so-
you knock him down. And so Bolsor comes over to you and he smacks the club out of your hand and he grabs your arm and raises it up. And the Archduke says, "Give me back my armor."
Of course, my lord.
I'm not your lord. servants strip it off you. One of the servant girls is like, "My chambers are in the back quarters."
Of course.
She's a 3.
Oh.
No fat chicks. Well, you have won the trial by combat. Do not think that makes you anyone's friend here. I'll step back like you never said anything. The defender of the trial by combat is the outside spy, meaning my mates, right? So, Viscount Maxwell was a liar and a coward. So, who now will prosecute this case for me? Let me in. So, who do you think would prosecute the case against you?
Maybe someone from Ultron, I'm guessing. That would be my guess.
Lady Sedai steps forward.
Oh.
If I may, my lord. He glares at her suspiciously and then starts chewing on his knuckle. This outsider has breached through an inhospitable desert that no one goes to. Passed through magic using a wizard in the parched stone desert where no one can go. Where no guard has trodden in hundreds of years and no tax collector has been in even longer. He conversed with the dead trapped in a dead city, freed an imprisoned creature, and withdrew treasure that cannot be touched from it, and brought it here. What a boon for us that this treasure should be brought back. It was the dog. And he has just won a trial by combat on nebulous terms against the man who presumes to take that treasure. It is clear to me that that treasure must be therefore forfeit, completely and utterly, and replaced with some other form of remuneration. What say you, guilty man?
If I'm going to be perfectly honest,
And why would you be anything else?
we did not seek to take all of the treasure. We only sought at least a finder's fee and one additional item that was promised to our cart driver.
Yes, this mysterious cart driver no one can find. Who is it? Where is it? What are these items you want?
There is a scepter.
A scepter, you say?
So he had the crown, didn't he? No, it was a trident, sorry. It was a trident. There was a trident, my lady.
And what use would you have for some evil weapon taken as loot from a nasty race of enemies?
I do not know. That is the piece of equipment I was promised to the cart driver. I believe it has some kind of personal or historical significance to him.
So he is evil. And you would return it to the evil.
I pay my debts.
And what aught else would you have of this finder's fee you think you are entitled to?
Only what would be considered fair by your laws.
The Archduke wakes up from his bored slumber. And he says, "We will not give anything to you for free. You will receive all you are entitled to and more. Yes." Yes. Take him hence to the mausoleum and let him clean it. Then bring him back if he lives. Everyone looks very pleased.
Not everybody. Interesting.
And you are taken from the room without a fight needing minis at all. Boo. I was hoping you'd cause a scene.
Moi?
Like you always do.
That's what I got, just leering at a drow.
That almost did cause a scene. Had you not lowered your eyes, you would be fighting still. So you are taken and moved from there by guards.
Don't you just want to kiss these lips?